If you're following Johnny Depp, I'm sure you know he's got a lawyer named Adam Waldman who's been defending him for a very long time on Twitter, testifying virtually in Virginia, and just doing a great job all round. Now, it seems he's indirectly defending Marilyn Manson here by calling out a Rolling Stone article that's very, very pro Evan Rachel Wood. So let's take a look at Adam's tweet. And by the way, thank you, Adam, for pitching in on this. Saudi Arabian owned Rolling Stone propaganda code translator. Misogyny playbook equals evidence. So, we know the evidence was on Johnny's side. Marilyn Manson doesn't exactly have evidence that he didn't do it, but there's no evidence he did do it. It's just that Rolling Stone uses this playbook phrase as a way to undermine the facts we know so far, to undermine the inconvenient fact that Evan Rachel Wood doesn't have evidence. And then Adam quotes Bob Dylan. He's got pretty good taste in music, actually. I've never covered this actual article, so let's take a look real quick on the clips Adam chose to feature. Readers call to boycott Rolling Stone after owner's ties to Saudis resurface. Doesn't sound so good, guys. All right, Rolling Stone. A big puzzle piece falls into my lap. Thanks again, Adam. In the last year, Amber Heard, Angelina Jolie, Megan Thee Stallion, and Wood have all accused past celebrity partners of abuse or violence, only to have armies of fans accuse them of lying, misrepresent their legal proceedings, and encourage misogynistic rhetoric against them. And all the while, none of them have any evidence. It just so happens that none of them have evidence. Let's mention that, please. Let's be balanced. If they all had evidence and it was clear they'd been abused, well, I'd be on their side. When Heard lost a highly publicized defamation case filed by her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, she told NBC News' Savannah Gerthy that her portrayal on social media played an outsized role in the outcome. Well, everything online is a little bit more fantastic than it is in real life. But the thing about Amber specifically is there was so much to go on. There was things she fed the media deliberately, pictures she put out there with her dog, with her friends, with her wine, with her daughter, with her interviews, with her backstage stuff, with her Jason Momoa pics. She put it out there for people to see. This wasn't a case of people following Amber, not leaving her alone. Much of what we used, she provided. What a key point they never, ever acknowledge. I think the vast majority of this trial was played out on social media. Not sure about that. It's the other way around. Yes, social media covered a lot of it as facts came out, but none of us on social media and YouTube could actually get a word in at the trial. Some people sat and watched, it was public, but it's not like we raised our hands and said, hey, what about this evidence? Hey, we don't believe Amber. No. As a matter of fact, when somebody tried to tweet about it on social media, that person, who happened to be Amber's friend, got kicked out of the courtroom. I think that this trial is an example of that gone haywire, gone amok, and the jury is not immune to that, Heard said. I think even the most well-intentioned juror, it would have been impossible to avoid this. But the end of Heard's case didn't end the attacks. Instead, accounts that successfully monetized video after video about Heard have begun to repeatedly latch on to other cases of abuse involving celebrities, creating a playbook of misogyny that puts famous women and their reputations on trial. Well, I gotta say, I'm happy for once, seriously here, they said famous women. Because one problem is that a lot of these narratives are saying it hurts all women and all victims. And then if I've got to come and say, well, no, it's the celebrity and famous ones we're talking about. So one little good phrase from Rolling Stone there. But the bottom line is the evidence, the facts of the trial. I couldn't make a single video supporting Marilyn Manson if there was actually evidence he did this and it was more recent, 2 years, 3 years ago, 6 months ago, something like that. But once again, it was so long ago, it's nearly impossible to know what happened without playing he said, she said. And a court of law is not about he said, she said. There's an element of believing emotion and witnesses, but in the end, it has to be a bit more than that to make a concrete decision. And he posts the title of the article here. And of course, Adam is not short on comments from fans supporting him, and lots of Johnny fans, I must assume. And Adalavin says, shout out to her by the way, odd that someone so guilty of misogyny himself would want to own a magazine that acts like it defends women guilty of lying, of being abused. Heart for you. Love the fact that they don't name one online content creator by name. They are so afraid that more people could see the evidence, which proof it's all a hoax. They must mean which proves it's all a hoax. And by the way, they've got the South Park Harry there. Pretty funny. But a good point. Because if you actually link Colonel Kurtz, you might listen to her. As a matter of fact, you probably will listen to her and say, "Ah, wait a minute, she's got a good point there. She thinks things through. So she's got a philosophy about guilt and innocence. She's got interviews with people who worked with Manson. Let me think about this. Oh, wait, I think Rolling Stone could be wrong here. So I think Truth Seeker got it right there." That's a pretty interesting meme. Thank you. You get a heart. And Adam's account's still growing. He's over 37,000 followers now. When he first came back to Twitter after being banned, he was on about 31,000, got up to 32 pretty quick, and now he's still climbing, so that's great. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be pretty sad about it, but I'll get over it. See you next time.